I know the election is over, and but people keep asking me questions and making statements. And one of the statements is, why don't we just get all of us just get together and get behind everything and make the best of everything? You know, that's bothering me. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Once your understanding has been enlightened, then you will discover the life that is already in you. Have you ever heard a band with an offbeat drummer? Now, the rest of the instruments are fantastic, but you can't enjoy the song because the rhythm is offbeat. Now, we all know there's a rhythm to life: sex, sports, career, even getting the kids off to school in the morning. But sometimes we can lose that rhythm in our lives. Now, spirituality is that rhythm, that beat. And we know beats. We'll get you back playing in the band of life before you know it.
ALC, the Abundant Life Center. Go to myalc.org for more information.
I'm Ed Montgomery. Looking for more?
Join us at the location and connect with Ed Montgomery at edmontgomery.net.
What in the world should we do? What in the world should I do? If people are saying to me, well, you know, Dr. Ed, we should just all get behind our new president and let's just, just work and see what happens and see how things turn out. And, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about how I feel and how some people feel it out here. But, well, first of all, let me tell you who I am. I am Ed Montgomery. I am the host of Cracked Faith meaning take a jar. If it's cracked, when you pour water into it and you come back an hour later and all the water is all over the table, you wonder what the problem is. It's not that somebody rained on your parade, it's that something came out of this jar and that jar must have a crack in it. I think the faith of America, or Christianity as we know it, has been cracked. I think the weight of life, or the life that we're living, has cracked our faith. And maybe what we believe is not as strong as we think. But I'm a host of Cracked Faith. I'm also the your host on Sunday mornings when we come in and we start talking about Sensational Sunday. And Sensational Sunday, of course, is more of a presentation. No, I'm not going to call it a sermon, but it's more of talking about things in life from a very spiritual position. And it gets down into the soul of stuff. Check out my previous one. And I am also the founder, director, pastor, guide, mentor of Abundant Life Cathedral, Abundant Life Center, right here in the city of Houston, Texas. We're located on Sunday mornings. We show up every Sunday morning live in Katy, Texas. That's where we are at this particular point in time. But let me get to what I do through the week, what I do concerning this particular breakdown. And I talked a little bit about it Sunday, but one of the statements I made is that God is not in everything like we want to put God in. And here's where it came from. There have been people who have been out there and, pumping their fist and look who's president. And look, I understand who won the election. And for a day or so, I was sitting out here and I was saying, I wasn't watching the news. I'm still not watching too much of any news right now. I get every now and then little pieces come through. And you're watching the news and people are out there pumping their fist, and I'm not talking about just people in restaurants or in the mall or going everywhere. I'm talking about these are church people. I mean people who call themselves Christians, and they're really in your face preaching how God has vindicated Donald Trump. And so we also have people that are saying now, well, the election's been lost, the election's been over. We got to all come together. And I also heard Joe Biden mention when Donald Trump went in and they have to make this transition. Of course, Donald Trump didn't show up for his transition. Obama welcomed Donald Trump into the White House. But Donald Trump didn't welcome anybody into the White House. They were in the middle of that's right, the January 6th. We remember that. But people are saying, well, let's not remember that. Let's not look back into the past. We just need to go on into the future. And I'm wondering, what in the world does that mean? We need to go on into the future. Well, God evidently was in it because he's president. He wouldn't be president if God was not in it. And now that's where I ask this question. And that's why I got my lion here. I think I got my lion. Yeah, I got my lion here. Because lion is lying and I'm not lying. I asked the question, what is God really in? Imagine you got two teams playing football. One team is on their knees praying. The other team is on their knees praying. I think I talked about this a little bit last week. And both of those teams are asking God to bless their team. Now, we know what the teams want. They want to ask God to help them win that game. Give us the strength and the energy and the fortitude to win this game. We want to win it. I want to win it for my parents. Or I want to win it for my husband or win it for my children. I got family sitting out there. We want to win it for them. And both of the teams are asking God to help them win. Now, the question becomes, which team is the most Christian? Which team does God love the best? Which team is in God's favor? What team is out of God's favor? And the question is, does God really work that way? I got another question. Let's say we have an election and one group is praying for one person to win the election, the other group is praying for the other group, because this was a very, not only political, but a very religious type of election. People were saying that God is in this election, and people were praying because they wanted another direction. And there were others that saying, we want a change in the government. We want a new era. And I'm going to talk about right at the end of this. Still, you stay right here with me. Don't go anywhere, because I'm going to tell you something that you probably never heard before. And so the people are saying, so was God with Trump, or was God with Biden or Harris? There was some on one side, some on the other side. Evidently, whoever won is God, is where God was, because God helped the team to win. God helped this president to become president. And I say to myself, here's the thought, or one of the thoughts. Is America so into winning that we can only see God in the face or the presence of a winner or someone who won something? That if you won the presidency, God must be with you. If you lost, God evidently was not on your side. Same thing with a team. I hear people, and I never liked this particular one, where a flood or a tornado hits a city, and the tornado rips a swath through the city, and you've got houses that have folded in the path of that tornado, and then over on the next street the houses are still standing, and maybe on the street on the other side of that swath where the tornado just tore everything down, you have people sitting in the middle where the tornado hit, crying and still digging, looking for loved ones, while the other people are on the other side. And you ask the other people, and they're crying, and they're saying, oh, we have the favor of God. God blessed us, and God looked after us. We've been blessed. The tornado didn't. So I ask myself the question, okay, so you're saying you got blessed. Were these people who were hit by the tornado unblessed? I ask that kind of question. Were there people over here who lived right and people over here who didn't live right? Were there people over here who were Christians and people over here who were not Christians? Something's wrong here. And so I finally came to a conclusion about something concerning God. Let me give you a fourth one. I brought this up. Boy, this almost tore the place. Matter of fact, you can go back on, I think it's this coming Sunday it comes out. And I was talking about marriage, and I was asking the question, is God in the marriage between two people? And we asked God to bless the marriage. And then all of a sudden, look, I've done weddings and turned around. People had these beautiful weddings. The train of the bride filled the whole church. I mean, by the time she got down to the front of the church, the train, the back of that bridal gown was still at the back of the church. I mean, there's been some beautiful weddings. It wasn't but 6 months. Okay, 8 months. And they were at each other's throat. My phone was ringing. Pastor, can we talk? I said, talk about what? Oh, our marriage. Something's going on. The ink is not dry. I just witnessed your marriage. I just sent it in. Well, we need to counsel. That's why I stopped doing counseling, because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it. My batting skill wasn't there. I was under 50%. And so I asked a question. That's what I did Sunday. Was God in the marriage? And we asked God, God bless our marriage. But people get divorced. God bless our team, but people still lose. God bless our election. But some of the people who we thought would win did not win. And we're wondering why they did not win. Why did Donald Trump win the election? And that's when I began to really just look at things. God is not in our individual little bitty boxes where we put ourselves in. God is not in the election, but God can be in the people who elect somebody. God is not in the Panthers or the Tigers on the team, but God can be in individual players. God may not be in the marriage, but God can be in the husband and the wife. And if the husband and the wife can be not a better husband, but a better man, not a better wife, but maybe a better woman, or maybe a more understanding woman or understanding man, maybe if they can be better at their interpersonal relationships, they can save the union that they brought together. Dearly beloved, we are gathered in this place to witness. They talk about what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. But God may not be the one who has joined these two together. They have joined themselves together and brought us in to witness what they believe is an act of God. Because 8 months later, they crying, God ain't in this. I didn't know he was like that. I didn't know she was like that. So maybe God is not in all of these things that we think God should be in. Because God certainly wasn't in that election. But I don't believe God is in any election. Listen, I wasn't voting for somebody because I believed God was for them. I didn't do that. I vote for my interest. I vote for what I believe is good for me, or really good for my children, my grandchildren. I firmly believe that's what a lot of people in America did. What they believed was good for them. But now we understand what some people may believe is good for them. People may be just selfish because what they think is good for them, they may know very well it's not good for other people. So, you ask yourself the question, why would people elect someone who was indicted? Some people elect someone, you know the list, who was convicted, to watch the convictions go away, to watch things disappear as if they've never happened. And now everybody is asked, well, can't we all just come together and build a better country? On what premise are you going to build a better country? I'm going to tell you what I think. Here we go. I think it's about time we found out, will the real Jesus please stand up? Who is Jesus? What is Christianity? What is our faith? What do we believe? And whatever it is we believe, how real is it? Or are we just looking for a Jesus who wins the game for us? I don't have anything else to say now. I let it go right now. But I will be back. I'm not done by a long shot. I thought about, what am I thankful for? I'm thankful for, of course, the obvious, the food, clothing, shelter. But I'm also thankful for the ability to be able to take a breath. I'm thankful for being able to put one foot in front of the other. Thankful for the ability to laugh, to have people around me that I love and people around that love me. Actually, I'm thankful for some very simple things, but these are things that mean a lot to me. Tell me, during this holiday season, what are you thankful for? What has made an impact in your life? What has caused you to think? What has caused you moments to where you say, you know what? I feel so blessed by God. And whether we know it or not, we are blessed by God. However you sense God to be, God is much bigger than everything. God is greater than everything. But more than anything, God is within you. So every breath you take, remember how thankful you are to God during this holiday season. Regardless of what you have in your pocket, it's what you're blessed with. And that blessing is what we feel. Take a moment and show that gratitude. Help us to be able to remind people of this same gratitude all over the country, all over the world. Yes, we reach England, we reach South America, we reach all of the nation, all the states of the nation. Please make sure you do it. Take a moment, look at your text to give, 713-742-2035. Look at the numbers on your screen, or go right now to myalc.org. That's myalc.org, and make your holiday gift. Make your Thanksgiving gift. Make your Christmas gift. Make your holiday gift. Do it right now, because while this season is available, let the warmth of your heart come through, and let it fill not only your life, but the lives around you. God bless you, and we love you. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button, smash it, crash it.